And hello everyone, and welcome. Crash here. This is RTA Motorsports. I'm like losing it right now. I actually held out and waited for this live stream before I opened the boxes here. Now, if you've seen my last video, we actually unboxed my Onewheel GT fender. Definitely check that out. If you're looking to buy any of these products or any of the bundles, I'm not sure if they're still doing the bundles. I'm sure they are. But yeah, this is the Onewheel GT fender. Check out that video. Definitely a nice fender of a similar quality as the fenders in the past. I do have live chat up, so if you want to check out or ask any questions about the GT once we peel into that, definitely let me know. In real time, we're going to learn together some interesting things that some of my friends in our local group kind of let me know from them actually having their GTs just before I did. So very excited. Can't wait to peel into it. Also, just want to give a shout out to the shirt that I'm wearing right now. It's the Meals on Onewheels group. When I actually post this video live, I'll post a link to their website. It is a non-for-profit organization. We talked about that organization in the past. They help the homeless and people in need, and they do outreaches basically all over the place. Right now, it's mostly in California, but I think they have plans to kind of venture out all around the world. So definitely a very awesome organization based around Onewheel. So definitely check them out and also donate to help out. But anyway, let's jump into a lot of these products here. So on top, this box actually came yesterday. These are more accessories that we got for the Onewheel GT. So I'm going to wait for a few people to jump in. We're going to unbox this real quick as people are jumping in. And then we're going to get into the GT below. You can see this is my Onewheel XR. Right now I have the Overlander lifter on the rear and the flight fins on the front. I actually kind of like this arrangement, but you can see the WTF rails from the Float Life. I got my Trail Pro on here from TFL as well. Definitely an awesome board. And I also have my, what do they call them? They're not shark fins. I don't know why I'm blanking out as oh, fish bones. There we go. I got my fish bones on the front pad. So I'm actually kind of used to having a concave front foot area. So I'm very curious to see what that's like on the GT because it's something that I'm used to and something I really like. But anyway, all right, let's jump in as people are starting to join in the live chat. And I can't wait to get a lot more live streams going. Got a few things going there. If audio is cutting in and out or anything weird, definitely let me know. I'm using this new mic arrangement here, trying to get it all, you know, settled and figured out. But yeah. There we go. Hopefully everyone's doing good today. My heart was racing. I felt like I was running up the stairs to get this thing up here just from excitement. I was out of breath for no reason. Let's see. TSS. Oh my God. I begged my wife to get me one for Christmas. Did you actually order one? Audio is good. Thank you so much. All right, so we had our packing slip there, and these are the rail guards for the Onewheel GT. I know it's kind of hard to see because I got a bunch of lights on. Let's see if I can move this. There we go. So actually, this is called Mississippi Mud. These are the stock rail colors of the Onewheel GT. Personally, I really like this color here. I actually thought about like wrapping my truck in this color. I really like it. It's almost like a battleship gray type color with a little bit of like a hint of yellow or green in it. It's very interesting type of gray. I personally really like it. I know TFL, the Float Life, they're local to me. They're going to come out with some crazy colors and designs eventually for their rail guards. So I'm going to leave the crazy designs for when the TFL crew actually unleashes their versions of rail guards. For now, I'm just going to stick to the stock colors. Nice. Yours ships Wednesday. Awesome. Congratulations. It's finally coming to a close, right? Now, if anyone is not familiar, the Onewheel GT is the newest Onewheel that they have created. It's replacing the XR, which was their flagship model. This is my XR here. This XR has been out for many years, so we're finally getting a replacement. I'm still new to board sports and Onewheel, but I'm hooked really hard. So I ordered the GT, and especially being that I'm a bigger guy, you know, the increased torque and horsepower is awesome, but our ship dates have been delayed quite a few times. It hasn't been as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was thinking maybe we're going to have like a 6-month delay or something like that in the beginning when they started announcing that there would be delays. But we're talking about, like, we pre-ordered, I think, around November, I think. I pre-ordered day one. Whenever the pre-orders came live, that's when I pre-ordered. I had a ship date in January. I have the treaded tire, and then it's been pushed back all the way to today. Today. Nice. But today is day one of their shipping. Today is day one that people are actually going to get Onewheel GTs, and I am so grateful and honored and happy that I was able to experience this day one and maybe share the experience with you all, especially coming from someone who's not really that experienced with Onewheel or GT. We're all going to learn this process together. So yeah, so with the rail guards, I also got the power plug in the same color, Mississippi Mud, so that way I'll have a nice clean look on the side of the rails. You can see that power port there. My plug's on the floor. Actually, for my XR, I have a black plug that goes in. I wanted to get something the same color. Here, let me get that power plug. A little bit of a hint here. So let me get this a little bit closer. You can see this is the power plug for the XR. You see how big that is? It's almost like an XLR size, like for audio. So that's about the size of that. This is the size for the GT. You can see how much smaller that is in comparison. Much smaller power plug. That's going to be quite interesting. Less of a chance, I guess, of a bunch of dirt and grime getting in there, but I really never had that issue with the XR, to be honest with you, because I always plugged it up before I ride trails. And that's it for the accessories. Again, we got the fender, we got the rail guards, and the plug. And it looks like we got a bunch of people in. Nice, awesome. Let's look at Chad here. Nah, she thought I was being foolish. Oh no. Well, hopefully TSS, all the reviews look good, and hopefully, you know, I think it looks good. Maybe we can convince your wife to get you one. Hype from Italy. Nice. Awesome. More of an e-bike guy. I have an e-bike myself, and I absolutely love it, but there's something with Onewheel that kind of hooked me hard. It's, I don't know if it just feels so flowy, and, you know, it's almost like meditation when you're riding the board. There's so much room for expression and just carving out. I don't know. I've never experienced board sports before, so it's kind of hard for me to really explain it. But when I'm on my Onewheel, there's a level of like calmness and meditation that I don't get from any other, you know, e-bike or scooter or anything like that. It's exhilarating and it's calming all at the same time. Hopefully that makes sense. Nice. Definitely the first unboxing. That's awesome. Get out and ride. Dude, I want to, but I also want to film it. So it's probably not going to happen until tomorrow because we all know I got to work today. So I'm probably going to get out and film it tomorrow morning. Hopefully I'll get out and film it today and get that video live tomorrow. But either way, the first ride video is going to be tomorrow, my first impressions. It's probably going to be a down and dirty video because I want to make sure I get it out so that way you could all see kind of raw how my thoughts are. But yeah, let's get into this thing here. Let's see. All right, let's go from here. This knife is so dull. There we go. All right. I'm so excited. I so wanted to get into this box, but I knew I promised everyone that I would do it on a live stream. We'll experience it together. All right, here we go. So I just noticed one thing. my logo is actually covering this here. So let's move this over. Let me take studio mode off. Let's move this. Actually, let's make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Notice there's like a little logo that's kind of in the way there. I want you guys to be able to experience it. All right. Delayed gratification. Yeah, I mean, you know, really testing my patience. You know what I mean? It was awesome, actually. Matt is #1 on the GT leaderboards. Awesome. Jesse, what's going on, brother? There she is. There's the box. Awesome Future Motion one-wheel logos on there. Kind of like ghosted in. That's pretty cool. I love it. All right, let's see if we can get this out of the box. Woo, this thing is heavy. I wonder how heavy it is compared to... Woo. Oh man, this is a little chunky. This is a little thick. This is heavy. I think it's going to be a little bit heavier, maybe because of the packing material, than my XR with the CBXR battery mod. Doing that CBXR battery mod actually increased the weight a little bit, but I think this is still a little bit heavier. And it feels really heavy back here, so I think the battery is on this side here. But let's take a look at this box. So we got nice little GT sort of diagram in the back here. What is that? Nice little one-wheel logo. This is the front of the box. You can see there. It shows it with the Mississippi mud color on the rails. It says 20 to 30 miles, 32 to 52 kilometers. There we go. One wheel, made in Santa Cruz. Nice. Let's see what the back of the box says. More power, snappy acceleration, more range. Of course, we know that, up to 32 miles. I don't think I'll get 32 miles, but it'll be interesting to see what comparable riding is going to be to the XR with the CBXR battery mod. That's really what I'm curious about. Dude, you're already at 7 miles? Shouldn't you be working? Or are you just doing little circles in your office? Did you grab your laptop and just start burning out in your office? Custom rubber, all new tire design specifically for one wheel. And if I remember correctly, I think they have, this is their tire. We used to use, wow, how am I blanking on this? All right, everyone in chat, help me real quick. The stock tire for one wheel XR. I haven't had that tire in, actually I took that tire almost off immediately. Anyway, so stock tire, the stock tire size is basically for the XR a very commonly used go-kart tire. So a lot of these tires were go-kart tires, like a lot of the Burruses and everything like that. TFL's Trail Pro is their tire design. So it's not a go-kart tire necessarily, but a lot of the Burruses and everything like that. Vega. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But yeah, the stock Vega tire and everything like that, it's all based around a go-kart tire. This is the first time that Future Motion has created the tire specifically for their board. So should be interesting to see. I'm kind of worried it may feel a little bit hard, but you know, we don't know until we ride, right? That's awesome. And on this side here, you all can see that boredom destruction machine. Awesome. All right, so I am almost ripped the mic off. Is the mic still working? All right, cool. So let's get into this box finally. enough waiting. I'm actually like out of breath from excitement. Isn't that weird? All right, let's do this where you could all see it. The next level is here. All right. Again, we got that color of Mississippi mud, kind of like that rail color. Love it. Nice packaging. Ooh. There she is. I just saw it. I just saw it. All right. Oh my gosh, it's even prettier in person. There she is, everyone. Look at that. We got the Onewheel GT in the Mississippi mud with the treaded tire. I was afraid something was going to happen and mine was going to ship without the treaded tire. Woo! You said you wish it was a Burris. Well, you know, just like everything else, just like the aftermarket has showed us in the past, there's going to be many tires on the market that are going to be created for this GT. So I guarantee you the GT is going to come. I mean, not the GT is going to come with, but there is going to be many aftermarket options coming soon. I know TFL's already developed something, maybe, you know, and you can't tell me that a company like TFL hasn't already developed a tire for it or has already put out plans to develop a tire once they get a GT in-house. So I'm sure Burris is going to be tasked to make some tires for it. This is probably going to be a huge sale item for Onewheel. I'm sure they're going to sell a lot of units of the GT, especially being that now it has more power, more capability. So I'm sure a lot of the aftermarket's going to jump on the bandwagon and start making products for it. Oh man. Woo! And they're local to me, so definitely I cannot wait. So we got a little accessory box here. Before we take the GT out, let's see what's in this accessory box. And it's just the charger itself, just a charger brick. Oh! We lost the cable. So you can see there, this is the charger brick, and I do gotta say, it feels like the exact same size charger brick that we have for the XR. I don't have a hypercharger. Never really used one because I normally just charge it overnight if I'm going to be doing a long ride the next day. Let's see, it says model FY756 2500. The output is 75.6 volts, 2.5 amps. And there's a green LED right here. So pretty much just like the XR charger as far as the size, has that same LED light on it, but it has that nice beautiful GT logo. And the power port itself is now at a 90-degree angle, which is really nice. There's no more of that clip. If anyone has a GT, I mean the XR, we have that like XLR clip where you plug it in and it clips itself in. Now we have like a 90-degree angle to it, and it is tiny. Still 3-prong, just like our XLR plugs, but it is much smaller. So that is pretty cool there. And it does have a flat side, so it's keyed. It can only go one way. So let's put that there. And then here's another awesome part. Just like the pint, this comes with a handle. Woo! So now this actually feels quite a bit lighter than I was expecting. But here she is, everyone. There is the GT. I can't believe I have the GT in my hands right now. Let me spin this around so that way this camera here, hopefully you all can see kind of this quick start guide and these labels here. There's a quick start guide on here. Let me actually bring this closer to the camera so you could all see kind of what's going on. Let me not get tripped up by this box. Ooh, it's a little like, they almost have like tire shine on there. So it's kind of greasy. A little bit hard to hold. But yeah, here we go. Meet your front foot pad. And there we go. There's a quick start guide. And it's kind of based around being new to Onewheel. Kind of shows the basics. That's pretty cool. Look at that tire. Got the Future Motion Onewheel logo going right there. This thing's a beast. So let's take these off. Woo, that grip tape. I was reading some reviews and watching some videos, and they were talking about how it has so much of a better grip tape on there, but wow. They definitely took some notes from the aftermarket, I can tell you that. This grip tape is aggressive. Feels very similar, maybe, feels almost similar to like TFL grip tape in a way. Very interesting. So I got the concave front and back. Let's take a look at the bottom here. So you can see you got that front bumper, got that nice grab handle in there, squared off. It's actually got like a little bit of a roll underneath. So that way you could grab it. It's not just like a straight box, but you could roll your fingers up underneath. So it's I can imagine that being nice and comfy. Definitely some tire shine on here or something like that. The tire is a little greasy. So your first ride may pick up a lot of dust. The whole thing is kind of greasy. But wow, this grip tape is aggressive. I actually want to show you it if I don't cut my hands up trying to do it. Look at that grip tape, guys. You can actually see that concavity there. This is the rear. The little Onewheel logo on the edge. We got that GT logo right there. All right, so let's put it next to the XR. Let's try to make some comparisons here. Let me move this table over a little bit. Should have brought something to like chalk the wheels. I have a feeling one of them is going to fall off. All right, so first things first, I gotta say, front foot pad. Seems about the same. I almost want to say that the front foot pad on the GT maybe has a little bit more real estate, but it kind of looks about the same in a way. Yeah. One thing I do got to say though is with the fish bones, it might be about the same level of concavity. Maybe the fish bones gives you a little bit more, but this is nice because it's built in. You don't have anything on top of your front foot pad, and you get to really just get all of that grip tape utilized at the bottom of your shoe. Let's see. I'm really trying to make sure that these do not slide off. Hopefully you get to see the whole thing. They almost look about the same length. I don't think there's any differences there. Let me feel the weight. So, let me see. To be honest with you, I think with the CBXR battery mod, they're almost the same weight. It feels almost exactly the same. Maybe a slightly heavier by like a few pounds, but they feel extremely similar. One thing I did notice just now though is if you look at the front bumper, just the thickness here and the XR does feel like it's a little bit thinner on the nose. It even looks a little bit thinner. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily an optical illusion or not because of the wood and all the various like tones that we have here, kind of making it look thinner, but this really does look thinner than this on the front. Whew. But the GT, we do have the light on here, just like we had on the Pint. Little battery meter, so you don't always have to look at your phone, which is awesome. One of my good friends, Matt, who's in the chat, Sarah, awesome, thank you so much. Turn it on for the lights. All right, let's do it. But Matt, who's in the chat right now, he actually is, he was the first one to bring to light that in the app, there's actually a beep warning when you're reaching the limits of the board. You could disable that, you could turn off the beep warning, but for people like me who like to have notification that you're reaching the limits of the board, to be able to really develop that muscle memory and be able to train yourself to know where the limits are, that is something I was asking. I was talking to a lot of my friends. I even talked to Matt and I said, you know, those little speakers that you put on your motherboard that give you the beep indication of when you're restarting your system or turning it off or on. Why couldn't someone solder something to the board when the board reaches a certain threshold, the beep goes off? We actually have that, and I am just so excited that that feature is in this board. Like really excited, because now I can approach the limits of the board responsibly, and when I hear the beep, I know I'm going too far, back off, and I can learn what the limits are. That's the safeguards I need. I wear a lot of safety gear, but not to be reckless. I want to know I'm approaching the limits safely, especially when I'm trail riding, and I'm so excited that feature's in here. Brightness comparison. I like it. Let's do it. Let's see if I can find, is that the power button? All right, so let's do it. Jeez. So the problem that I'm having, let's see. And I think you could actually set the brightness of this one in the app. So it may not be all the way up. Come on. Yeah, GT by a long shot is so much brighter. Look at that, it's like blowing out the camera. You can't even see the individual LEDs. Let me turn this towards the camera so that way there isn't anything on there. And it's a much like bright white bluer tone. It's almost like a 6000K or a 5700K, where this one almost, the XR almost looks yellowish. Could be the colors coming from the camera, but yeah, by far the GT looks brighter. And I'm very interested to see like if in the app I can make it brighter, because I think they said there's different brightness levels. But yeah, this is definitely more of like an LED 5700K sort of brightness. I love that tone, clean white. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely brighter. And then check this out, everyone. We got the light bar that you have on the Pint, so that way you don't have to look at your phone to know what your battery's doing. And then the exciting thing is, and I can't wait to test this, is you could actually, while you're riding, feel that increased torque almost all the way through the battery completely. They said maybe like 1 to 2 LEDs of this light bar, which is like, I don't know, 20%, because there's LEDs all throughout here. The one reviewer I was listening to, he said until he was down to like just a single LED or 2 going to 1, like it was starting to switch over, that's when he felt a degradation of torque. Like it just felt like it was fully charged up until that level, which is insane. Absolutely crazy. Let's see if we could get, oh my gosh. Did you see that? Let's see. All right, so let's get a finger on each and let's see if we could really max out. Oh, hands down. Look at this thing. I love the dimming. And you know, the old board did it too, like it transitioned, it dimmed out. All right, so on my wall, all I see is the GT. I see like a glow of white, and I have a lot of lights right now in this office. I just see a glow of white from the GT. The GT by far is so much brighter. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, yeah. Yeah. Let's see if I can shine it on the back wall and you guys could kind of get an idea here. Look at that. And I have lights on right now. Oh no, right now it's on the tail. Look at that. Thing's a beast. It's like blowing out the wall. And let's test with the XR. Now, if you have an XR, these are things you could upgrade by buying light kits and all that. That's it. That's all you get from the XR. It's not quite blowing out the wall. You could still see the texture of the wall. That's it. That's all you get. So that's off and that's bright. And again, let's go back to the GT. Looks like I might have like 40% battery on here. So that's normal. The headlight's on? Yeah. That's normal. Boom! That's insane. So much brighter. Oh man. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is going to be good for night riding. I cannot wait. Boom! I'm just worried about blinding people. You come to a stop, you just blind everyone on the road. Let's go back to the XR. But yeah, hands down, brighter. I need a bigger office. I'm like, look at that. That's it. And again, it is upgradable. You could buy light LED kits and you can upgrade this to be brighter. And you could do different colors, you could do crazy stuff, but usefulness, stock for stock, there's no comparison. No comparison at all. Insane. And just for, let's see, there we, that's too much fun. Anyway, anyone, do you have any questions, concerns, anything like that? Imagine getting this at Walmart. Oh my gosh. Let's see. You know what? Let me pair it to my phone. Let's see if we have any issues or anything like that, or let's see if we can even make it brighter. All right, so only 32% battery. All right, got it paired right there. And let me bring this over so that way you could all see. There you go. Yep, 32% battery, 0 miles on it. Digital shaping, there's different modes now. We got Sequoia, Cruise, Mission. That's all the same. Elevated, Delirium. Okay, so it's all actually the same modes. I'm going to set it to auto connect. Now I don't see the option to really get that beep notification. I'll have to look into that. That Matt got. I'm kind of curious, maybe it's because of, maybe he has an Apple. I don't know. If Matt's still on, do you have Apple or what? Because I didn't get that notification at all about the beep notification. But, you know, if it's something that one phone has, eventually they're all going to get. But I would definitely like that. Let's see. It's kind of locking me into Sequoia for some reason, the first setting. And I don't know if maybe it's going to make me do like a whole learning thing. I remember when I first got the XR and I first paired it to this phone, it made me do like this whole learning thing where you watch a video and all that. Maybe it's going to make me do that, and maybe that's when that turns on. No, I'm definitely connected to the GT because my XR has a different name. I actually renamed my XR. But also, you could tell that I'm connected to the GT. You see the lights? I just turned them off. I just turned them back on through the app. So I'm definitely connected to the GT. Update the app. Oh, okay. Update, update, update. All right, all right. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I thought it was updated. Let's see. Let's do this together. So it says last update October 28th for my phone. It's not telling me that there's an update. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. I don't know. Let me uninstall and reinstall it maybe? I don't know. The last update I have is for Pine X support. It should be yellow. It's not. Let's see. Aaron, yes. But, you know, if yours is coming Thursday, that's soon, bud. That's soon. I can't wait to actually ride this. No Android up yet. Okay. Well, so hopefully I get that beep soon. Did they push it for Android? I know they pushed it for iPhone. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. So wait, I just uninstalled and reinstalled it. It says last update March 5th. So, very interesting. Let me show you guys, because I'm not lying here. You remember me saying before the last update was like in October. It said October 20 something, and it said Pine X support. I uninstalled, which it didn't tell me to do that. I just felt like doing it. Reinstalled, and now it says Onewheel GT support. Very interesting. So if you have an Android like me, I have the Note 20 Ultra, uninstall and reinstall it because it didn't notify me at all to update. Okay. Okay, so now the app looks different. I see my XR on there. Let me connect to the GT. Let's do this together. Okay. Now this is different. Yes. Okay. So it says, here, let me shut the blinds here. Power up your board by pressing the power button on the front left side of your board. We did that. Getting on, always wear a helmet. Engage the foot pads. Riding. Lean forward to accelerate, lean back to slow down. I know this one has simple stop. See a little GT in the logo. Heel, lift, dismount. Gives you a little video there, and I think it locks you in, so you have to watch the videos. This is kind of what I was expecting. And then simple stop dismount, which I actually really like the simple stop. I don't know, I'm kind of weird on my Pint. I really did like that. Pushback. Trying to push through the pushback is extremely dangerous, yes. And it's going to show you a quick video on what pushback is, where it leans you back, tries to slow you down. The fastest I've ever been on my XR was on a trail. I was trying to beat a time, 18.1 miles an hour, and I think I felt pushback. It was so slight. I should have felt pushback, but I think I did. But then I started feeling the nose fall out from under me and kind of gave me a lot of heart attacks. Digital shaping, I know that's nothing to joke about, but it was very nerve-wracking. Digital shaping, smoother or more aggressive. And let's ride. Okay, so yes, so we do have different modes. Okay, so we have flow, we have high line, we have elevated, we have apex, okay, and then custom. Okay, what does it say? Still in the shaping bay. Okay, so they're still developing custom. Okay, so interesting. We do have lights on and off, and then we also have, I guess this would be high beam. Oh, that's awesome. Let me show you all. So that slider that I was just messing with, let's see if I could get the headlights to come out this side. All right, ready? Look at this. I don't think it was that bright before. It seems like it's brighter now. That's awesome that I could adjust this with a slider on the app. Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, so we are still at 32% battery. Safety beep. Safety beep is on. So that's cool. And let me show you all, in case you are all safety conscious like me. Right there, it says, safety beep is an important safety feature that produces an audible indication as you approach the limits of the board. Disabling the beep feature is for advanced riders only. For your safety, always lean back and slow down if you hear the beep. I don't know if it's going to come from the phone or from the board. I'm imagining it's going to come from the phone. So you're probably going to want to have your audio up if you want to do that. I'm definitely going to do that in the beginning so that way I can actually hear it and learn what the limits are. So that's pretty cool. And let's see, I'm going to come back. I'm coming back. Let's see what the different modes actually say. Roll it forward, super bright. Oh, it comes from the board, the sound? You got the pint to 19.1? Yeah, but I weigh 240 pounds. I don't know what you weigh, but I'm a bigger guy, so, and I was on a trail on my XR. I wasn't on pavement, so it was a little bit more roll resistance. There's a mechanism to increase the voltage to the LEDs now. Sweet. Yeah. All right, so let's, so the first mode, Bay, I'm imagining that's going to be the new Sequoia. Let's see. So you can see playful is all the way down, aggressive. Well, I'm guessing that's a new aggressiveness tab, is town or trail. That's interesting. Max speed is 12 miles an hour. So that's like the new Sequoia. I think Sequoia was like max at 12. This one is 18 miles an hour top speed, roam. So this is a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more like middle of the road for town and trail. Fun, cruisy, forgiving. Kind of sounds probably where we're going to start is here, flow. So this is probably like the, probably going to be the most used mode. It's like right in the middle. Right in the middle of a playful and aggressive. A little bit more leaning towards trail. So I'm imagining you're going to get a little bit more of that torque early on. High line. I don't know. Some of these modes are like so close to one another. Responsive and punchy. Highline offers the ultimate experience with maximum stability. Max speed 20 miles an hour. And then elevated, we all know what elevated is. Elevated was the same thing, or the same type of mode that we had in the XR, where it lifts that nose up in case you may run into objects or obstacles. It's a little bit weird. You kind of feel like you're standing Captain Morgan because that nose stays up quite a bit. Apex, turn it up to 11, raw, aggressive, and hyper-responsive. Apex rides with intensity and eats single tracks for breakfast. But it's interesting how it's not showing that it's ideal for trail. Very interesting. I don't know if that's a mistake on their end, but it's all the way down here on town. And then custom, we don't have that ability yet. Yeah, I don't know. They both look so both look so similar in like their modes, in what it was explaining, like were the actual aspects of their mode. So I don't know. I have no idea what one's going to be. I would be interested to try them, and I'm going to have to try them. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for joining in. This has been the unboxing and first look at my Onewheel GT. I'm going to slap on these side rails in just a moment, and I'm going to try to get a little bit of riding in and make sure everything is good. Definitely get it charged up tomorrow morning. I'm going to hopefully get that video out. It's going to be a pretty raw video, probably going to be a little bit long, but it's going to be my raw first impressions of what do I think about riding this GT in comparison to my XR. And then later on, once I learn the board, I'm going to compare the two, the Onewheel GT and the XR, especially coming from the perspective of someone who's around 240 pounds on trails. What are the differences that we feel? Is this going to have better climbability? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's going to be better to climb, especially up some hills, but is it enough that it's actually going to matter? Mine also has a CBXR battery upgrade, so does that actually close the gap between the two? These are a lot of questions that I had, and this is the reason why I did not get rid of my XR yet, because if the XR compares to the GT when you put that CBXR in, kind of what's the point? I love my WTF rails. I love basically what I've done with the board. My Overlander lifter, my flight fins on the front. I loved this combination that I have, and if I could have a similar experience, maybe I'll just get rid of the GT, but that's something that we're all going to experience together. If this bad boy is truly more powerful, has better climbability and everything, just like what I'm hearing in a lot of these reviews, I'm going to let you all know. And hopefully I'll be able to get a side-by-side comparison to really convey that message to you guys, whether or not they are pretty much the same or whether this is the new king. Everyone, I'm Crash, this is RTA Motorsports. Thank you so much. I appreciate all you guys' support, and we'll catch you all next time.